So, the film begins with a desert. Some time ago, a team of scientists came here to do research. They wanted to take a sample of life by digging the soil to find out if life is possible there. They dug up to 9 miles through a machine, and they themselves went there. This was quite surprising, because before today, humans had not gone so deep. Then after a few days, there was a terrible sandstorm here. The scientists did not contact their team to ask for help because this was a deserted area. They had also lost contact with their team, so obviously the team did not send any help. The storm stayed here for a long time. Obviously, no contact with the scientists. So to do more research, the team sent their own man. His name was Jack. He came here alone. He was moving forward out of the storm. He looks around, but he does not see anyone there. There was a big lab here, so Jack goes there to check what was happening here. But he does not find anyone there either. There were only people's clothes and shoes lying there. This lab was very big. Looking at it, it was clear that the team has invested a lot of money in this project. Every Jack moves forward and reaches a room. There he sees a phone and a radio, but their condition was such that no one had used them for a long time. Jack finds it very strange, so he goes ahead to check that place more. He now goes to a freezer room where things are kept to keep cool and right. There was meat and electricity here, but there was a man's dead body on the side, which we see, but Jack cannot see. When he was checking all the rooms, he suddenly hears a strange sound. He quickly takes the gun in his hand and goes to check. He finds out that the sound is coming from the last door, which was in front. There was a chair in front of it. He was now suspicious. But as soon as the chair moves itself, there was a loud storm in front. Maybe that's why the chair was kept. Thinking this, he closes the door again. He looked very worried because 25 people had come to work here, but none of them were here. Then he sees a strange door, on which he starts to doubt. As soon as he goes inside, he starts to see a lot of strange things. There was blood on the wall, and something was written in Arabic. In fact, a cupboard was going to fall on him, but somehow he survives. He also sees a dead animal there, from whose blood these lines were written. It does not take long for him to understand that. All these things are pointing to the devil. There must have been some black magic here. Some devil has come, in which the sacrifice of this animal was given. It looked like a sacrifice that was given to the devil. After all this, he comes in his car. Whatever he saw here, he gives information to his team about it. And he also says that there are other buildings here, which I have to check right now. Maybe the scientist team can be found there. He reads a book so that he can get help, but then the light goes off. He immediately comes to the generator room and turns on the generator and starts checking this place too. Then he finds a camera here. He only knew that a team of scientists had come here, but he would not tell him anything further. That is, they were going to dig a deep hole in the ground. He only knows all these things from the recorded video in this camera. Also that he had come here to take a sample of life from the depth of the ground. Then all the scientists start partying in joy, which clearly means that they have succeeded in their goal. They have found the sample. But what happened next, he does not know. Whatever it was, there was definitely something wrong here, which Jack was also suspecting. Then as Jack starts sleeping in his car, a lot of human hands are seen on the window of the same car. Seeing this, he gets very nervous. But in the meantime, he realized that it was just my illusion because the hands were missing from there. But because he still felt weird, he went to sleep in the lab room. The next morning when he wakes up, the storm had stopped. Everything was quiet. He starts thinking that the weather is clear, so now I will easily find the scientist. That's why he takes his car and goes to check all the buildings, during which he sees a separate room. When he goes inside, he does not find anyone, but fresh coffee was made there, which meant that someone was living here. He starts doubting. That's why he immediately comes to his car. Now he was about to tell his team about this, when he sees that a girl is running this way. She also sees Jack, but does not say anything, and starts going inside. Jack was looking at her suspiciously and started following her, because he wanted to ask what actually happened here. That girl tells him that my name is Jenny. I am also one of that team. Our leader is dead. I don't know about the rest of the people, but I know so much that now I am alone here. That's why I also want to go from here. That's all she said. She did not speak more openly, but at least now Jack had found out that she is also one of those scientists. He immediately informs his team about this and says that, I'm coming with that girl Jenny. Hearing this, his boss immediately says that no, you stay there for now. Give us as much information as possible, because a lot of money has been invested on this project. You will have to stay there until the new team comes there, because a working person has also been found there. So now you can collect a lot of information about what happened. Now when Jack goes to the freezer room, he sees that corpse there. Then Jenny tells him that this is my boss's corpse. His death was due to a heart attack. But it was not like that, because his death was due to the cold in this freezer room. Jenny says that we should get out of here as soon as possible. But Jack refuses her, because now somewhere he was doubting Jenny. They have a lot of talks in which Jack tells her that my wife died a long time ago, but how he does not tell. Then he asks her about her project, which means drilling. Means the people who were digging here, on which Jenny takes him to that place and tells him that our team will dig drilling for about 9 miles here. After which it started getting strange, like sometimes scary sounds started coming from this well. It started looking like the hell door was opened, and there is a devil down there. After hearing these things, Jack feels very strange, so he throws a paper down. Jenny tells him that it will take about 5 minutes to reach down. Suddenly, Jack's light falls into that well while looking down. As he was falling down, blood was visible on the walls. Now seeing this, Jack started feeling very strange. As he was getting very weak, suddenly something hits his head, because of which he gets injured and falls there. While he realizes that all the pictures I saw that video, Jenny is nowhere in them, because he was getting sick. That's why Jenny takes him to the lab and treats him. She locks Jack in the room and tries to run away from here. When she reaches Jack's car, she realizes that I don't have the keys. In the room where Jack was, suddenly blood starts dripping from his roof, and then it starts raining blood everywhere. Even things start bleeding. Seeing all this, he gets very nervous. He tries to get out of there, but the door was locked. Now Jenny also came back to take the keys, so she opens the door for Jack. Now, the surprise was that the blood that Jack saw suddenly disappeared. The room was absolutely clean. This time he tries to tell Jenny, but she only says that this is just an illusion. You take some rest. Then, after resting for a while, when Jack gets up, he contacts his team. From the team, he finds out that the scientists who came there, they don't have the name of Jenny, which means it is clear that she is not a part of the team. Hearing this, Jack starts to doubt more. Not only Jenny, no woman was sent on this mission. That's why he comes to the lab and starts looking for her everywhere, but she is nowhere to be found. When he comes out, he sees a tractor far away. There was a herd of birds around it, and this herd was there since Jack came here. As soon as he goes near the tractor, Jenny also comes from behind. Jack tells her that I have contacted my team. They told me that we have no record of Jenny. So tell me, who are you? After all, why don't you tell me who you are? What is your identity? What are you doing here? What is your purpose? In response to this, Jenny says that yes, it is absolutely true that no woman was sent on this mission. But the leader here knew me. He allowed me to come here so that I could help him. In the video you saw, I was not in it because I was making that video. Now, as proof, Jenny shows him the video in which she was present. But because Jenny has not told anything openly yet, Jack still did not believe her. She still had this question in her mind that, what happened to the rest of the people? And where did they go? I don't know how she is alive. Now, Jenny also plays an audio to him, whose voice seems to be as fast as the screams of humans. And she was coming from the same well. Jenny says that more dangerous things are going to happen. That's why we have to get out of here as soon as possible. Because the same thing happened with those scientists. First, they started hearing such voices, and then strange things started to appear. Some said that we can see our dead people too. Now Jack was listening to all this, but he was laughing, because it was obvious that it was very difficult to believe such things. Anyway, now we see Jack's investigation team. Jack had also sent him all those blood-stained lines and marks. One of them, a man who knew Arabic. He looks at him and says that this mark belongs to a devil who hunts men. First, he hurts them and then makes them die. It means that they take their own lives. This is what the devil does to take their souls. And in this picture, there is a kind of sacrifice, which is for the same devil. And this is the same sacrifice that was being talked about, which Jack had also seen in that room of that animal, so that that devil can come into this world. There, Jack and Jenny were waiting for help. There are a lot of things between them, which clearly shows that they have become friends now. But here, once it was not clear that Jenny is a friend or an enemy. Now Jack gets a bottle of alcohol, which he had hidden here. Also, he gets a key from the book here, on which he does not pay much attention and puts it back. Then he starts listening to the same audio that Jenny had made him listen to him. Now Jenny believed that these voices were of devils, because the door of hell has opened from them. But now when Jack listens to it carefully, these voices were of humans, that too painful, who were screaming for help, which meant that they were stuck in some big torment and were in a lot of pain. Now only Jack starts hearing voices from outside. As soon as he goes to check outside, he sees a woman there who turns into Jenny as soon as he sees her. But Jack doesn't say anything to her, and both start eating. Even Ginny had made a cake for him, because today was Jack's birthday. Ginny knew all this because she had seen Jack's ID. Jack thanks her, but he was not happy about his birthday, because last year on his birthday, his wife had killed his children, and then she took her own life. This was the reason why Jack was always sad about his birthday. Jack was blaming himself for everything, because his wife suspected him, that maybe he liked someone else. That's why she killed her children first, and then took her own life, so that she can punish Jack by doing this. And he will always live this life with this shame. After hearing all this, Ginny feels very bad for Jack, so she takes care of him. They were both together when Jack sees his wife's ghost outside his room. That's why he puts Ginny aside and goes to sleep in the other room. Now he was trying to sleep when he sees his wife again, who turns into Ginny as soon as she sees her. And when they were together at night, Jack dreams of his wife. She had a gun in her hand, which she takes and goes to the room where she kills both her children. Then Jack comes in front of her and tells Jack by putting a gun in her head that you betrayed me. That's why I did all this. And with this, she kills herself too. As soon as he comes out of this nightmare, he finds himself out of the room. He was not wearing clothes. He has no idea how he got here. He starts looking for Ginny everywhere, wearing clothes. He goes to the washroom, where a terrifying person whose body was rotting was trying to attack him. Jack was very scared, so he tries to run away. But then that terrifying person suddenly turns into Ginny. Then Ginny comes and takes care of Jack. Jack was very scared. He was lost in reality. He was thinking about that night again and again when his wife killed herself and her children. In these thoughts, Jack was seeing Ginny again and again, as if she was everywhere. Then the next morning, when Ginny goes for a walk, Jack starts looking for everything. He also watches the video in which Ginny was there, because he had a suspicion in his mind, and his suspicion changes when he watches his own cap in that video, which means it was clear that this video is not of the time when the scientists came here, but Ginny made it later so that she could lie to Jack. After finding out all this, Jack immediately contacts his team and asks them to send him to the team as soon as possible. He loads the gun and goes inside the lab. Jack was very scared because now he was convinced that the devil has come out of that well, and one of them is Ginny. Now, as soon as Jack locks himself in the room, he hears a voice from the outside as if someone is calling him. Now, when he comes out with a gun, he goes to the tractor where he sees a very big pit in which there were thousands of insects. Now, as he looks closely, all those insects suddenly turn into birds. They start flying. So Jack gets scared, and now he also falls into that pit, in which he sees a human skeleton. He was already nervous, but now he is very scared. As soon as he comes out of the pit, he goes to the lab and comes to his room and starts taking a bath with clothes because he was covered with mud. He was also taking a bath when suddenly Ginny comes from behind, and seeing her, he was very scared, so he attacks her with a rod and beats her a lot. But when Ginny starts crying, he stops and apologizes because he had injured Ginny a lot. He immediately goes to get medicine so that Ginny can be treated. But when he comes back, he is very surprised to see that Ginny is not here. Now, when he was looking for her everywhere, then Ginny comes from behind and attacks Jack with the same rod. Now, saving himself, Jack locks himself in a room. Now, as soon as he looks out of the door from the hole, he sees Ginny in the form of a devil. She had big red eyes, a very scary face, and teeth like a devil. Now Jack was in the room where he got the key from the book. So he takes the key and opens a locker, from which he gets another camera. There was a video on checking it, which was recorded by the leader of those scientists. He was telling that Ginny is not a human, but she is a devil. She has come in the form of a beautiful girl because she has trapped men in her trap, but she provokes them to take her life, after which she takes their soul herself. Apart from this, he tells them that she is a very big and dangerous devil who could take not only one, but many other forms. In fact, he can use humans and can also show strange things. Now Jack's team was trying to contact him. Ginny hears and immediately starts going near the car, although Jack was also shooting at her, but she was saving herself. She talks to the team and tells them that Jack has gone mad, and he wants to take my life. Now, after a while, when Jack goes to the washroom, he sees his own terrible face in the mirror that were hundreds in number, but apart from being scary, every form was different. That was taunting Jack. And then as soon as he sees, he starts shooting in the form of all Jack, even when it's the turn of the real Jack. He also shoots himself in the mirror to shoot. Looking at him, it seems as if he has gone mad. He starts hearing his own family voices. Following those voices When he comes to the kitchen, he finds Ginny there. He was quite surprised to see that Ginny's behavior is quite different now. She is cooking food for Jack. Now Ginny tells him that yes, I am really a devil, and I have been with you for so long because I was testing you about your past. I was seeing how long you tolerate all this and how long you don't get tired of all this. Jack really tolerated most of the time and didn't die yet. Now Jack was already very nervous, and he also knew that Ginny is a devil. So he takes the food sticks and tries to make a cross in front of her so that Ginny runs away from him. But this does not affect her at all. She starts laughing rather. He picks up the gun nervous, and as soon as he starts shooting, the gun turns into a lighter, which Ginny burns with a cigarette to annoy Jack. Now Ginny comes and says that if you give me your soul, then I can make you meet with your family. She was actually making a deal with him, but the truth was that it was all a drama. She wanted to take the keys from Jack's pocket by distracting him, in which she also succeeds, and quietly she takes the keys. Now while talking, Jack gets lost in his thoughts. He remembers the same day when it was his birthday. Here his family was with him, and all of them were very happy. Taking advantage of this, Ginny runs from there. But after a while, she realizes that she can't leave here alone, so he decides to come back. Jack was so lost in his thoughts that everything seemed true to him. But very soon, when the veil of lies is removed, he does not see anyone near him. Meanwhile, he sees Ginny outside, who also tells him to come out. When he comes out, he sees that there is his wife instead of Ginny, who tells him that you are innocent, so I have come to save you. Jack sits in the car, but he knew that this was Ginny's plan. So he stabs a screwdriver in her body and injures her, and spills petrol all over the place and sets it on fire. Now in the meantime, the rescue team also arrives, who saves both of them. Now after hearing all the stories, everyone says that Ginny is telling the truth. She really was a part of that mission, but her name was not on the list. Actually, a type of gas emerged from the well that impact the human brain directly. As soon as the gas goes inside with the breath, the person has a weird imagination. The person acts like mad. That is why the scientist considers Ginny a ghost. And later Jack also felt the same. He was also under the influence of the gas. The impact of the gas was much more dangerous, and everyone took their lives. Only Ginny was not influenced by it, because her room was at the end. She was a woman. They considered Ginny a devil, because she was the only one who survived the gas. She remained separated from them all. This is the only reason that Ginny has not clearly told anyone yet. It happened the same with Jack. Hearing this all, Jack first thinks this all true. Ginny is a human, so he goes to her to apologize. She was in the hospital, but actually, Jack had a different plan. He snatched a gun from a man and tried to kill Ginny. Ginny survived, but Jack was considering her a devil. He tells her that he is ready to give his soul to her. So the influence of the gas was still in his mind. He loses his mind somehow. He was not the one to believe in reality. So just like the others, he takes his life by shooting himself. In reality, there was no devil and the door of hell. It was all in Jack's mind. The film ends by showing this. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this movie and what other movies or documentaries you want me to review next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.